ready to do the draw for the winners of the tickets to Clown in a Cornfield. So thanks to everybody who entered, but I'm just going to wait until 5 o'clock to do the draw. It's still 4:58 because I didn't know how long it would take to actually get this live stream thing running. So now I've got 2 minutes to awkwardly sit here and see if anybody joins. Nobody so far. Just sit here and talk to myself. Awkward. Oh, 7 people. Wow. Okay. Well, that was quick. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the draw, the live draw for tickets. So if you've entered, I can see. Hey. Oh, thanks, Mason. Oh, hi, Francesca. Hi, Symbol Tribe. MXPE. MXP. Hey everyone. Yeah, so just waiting until exactly 5 o'clock and then I'm going to do the draw for the tickets. But hey, in the meantime, happy to answer any questions or just say hi or chat a bit. There's a minute to go. Hope you're all doing well. I'm in here in my spare room with Buddy, who he's scared of thunder, so we put on his thunder coat and he's down there with his teddy bear. The thunder has stopped, thankfully, but it's just raining a little bit. Hi, I film Gimpy garbage trucks, Garbo Filmer. Yeah, there's a few people around that do garbage truck videos, it seems. There's also a Brisbane Garbage Channel, YouTube channel, I think, as well. It's definitely an interesting niche, a different kind of niche. All right, I think we're good. Is it? Yep, 5 o'clock. Okay, so yeah, sorry if you didn't enter, but all right, I'm going to draw out the winners right now. Now, actually, I have good news for any of the members of the Brisbane Channel who entered. There were 5 tickets for members of the Brisbane Channel and 5 tickets for viewers that weren't members. And that's double passes, so basically tickets for 2. I only had 4 tickets from channel members, so that means that every channel member that entered has won automatically, because basically of the 5 that were available for members, only 4 people entered. So if you entered, you're one of the 4 members that entered. Congratulations, you're going to see the movie. And the good news for non-members is that means, hi from WA, hi. Oh yeah, we had heaps of thunder. Anyway, so yeah, the good news for non-members is that that means I've got an extra double pass to give away to non-members. So there'll be 6 names that I draw out. And so what I'll do is I'll draw out those 6 names and I'll read out the first names of the 2 people that are going in that entry. Hello from Florida. Used to live in Brisbane years ago. Wanted to say hello. Cool channel. Thanks. 3 a.m. here. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Good night, Joe Gator. Thanks for dropping by anyway. All right. I have the first ticket in my hands, the first entry, and it is Robbie and Mannock. Well, it's not going to be in focus, but you're just going to have to trust me there. All right, first winner is Robbie and Mannock. Next winner is... Hi from Thornside. We had an update about Thornside, I think last week's update. See you, Joe. Next winners, Sam and Hannah. Oh, that's reversed. Okay, anyway. That's 2, 4 to go. Next winners, Tony and Karma. 3 down, 3 to go. Hi, Hamish. Fernando and Carly. Two left. There are a couple of people that said that they were big fans of horror movies, so I'm really hoping that they won because I don't think it's any of those names I've drawn out so far. I can't remember who it was, but all right, next one. Darren and Fiona. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Last winners are. Hi, Cameron. All right. Haha. Carl and Vicky. All right, so that's our winners. Carl and Vicky, Darren and Fiona, Tony and Karma, Sam and Hannah, Robbie and Mannock, and Fernando and Carly, plus the 4 members of the Brisbane Channel. That's the 10 double passes to Clown in the Cornfield. Congratulations, the way it's going to work. And by the way, don't worry, I'm going to delete your emails now that we've drawn the entries. I'll delete all. I'm not going to keep your, ID, like your information online or anything like that. So don't worry about your personal information being stored somewhere. It all gets wiped. So what happens is I tell the people who are running the screening that the names that I've been given, the full names, and then they're going to put that on a list at the door. So you just show up and tell them your names. I guess you might need ID, I'm not sure. And they'll let you in. And I'll be there as well. So say hi if you're one of the winners, and I'll see you at the screening. All right. Well, thanks, Under, by the way. Keep up the quality videos. Yeah, and I'm working on making the quality even better if I can. Oh, hey. Good to see you. Is it the Abe or is it the Abe? Like I for some reason I keep reading it like as if it's Japanese, like the Abe Kane, but it's probably the Abe Kane. I don't know. Can you clarify that so that I can read it the right way in my head? Abe. Okay. Cool. Good to know. When is the next video? Next video will be, well, I'm aiming for it to be on Wednesday. It may be Thursday. Have I tried the Brisbane Metro? Yes, I actually rode it on the day that they had was it the day they launched the trial or was it, no, it was just a one-off. Before they launched the trial, I had a ride of it when it was, they had a special event that people could like enter a competition and ride it as well, but also media got to go on it. So I was one of those. Definitely not like the Sydney Metro. No, Sydney Metro is actually a metro. Hi, Pete. Hey, one of our members. Hey, Pete, did you enter? Because if you did, you've won. I can't remember who entered and who didn't, but all of the members that entered won by default because only 4 of the 5 tickets that I had for members actually entered. So yeah. Hamish, have you been to Danny Boy's sandwich shop? No. Danny, what's the deal? Is there something special about Danny Boy's sandwich shop? Most informative Brisbane channel, says TM. Keep doing your thing. Yeah, that's the aim. You didn't. Oh, too bad. Sorry, Pete. Yeah, Shinzo Abe. That's probably why I read it that way. It's probably been subliminally put into my mind that way. Am I on live again tomorrow? No, probably not. To be honest, I'm a really bad conversationalist, so this live thing is probably going to be pretty rare, unless people want to do something like this and maybe have a Q&A or something like that. Happy to do it, but yeah, I'm just not great at talking ultimately. Yeah, it does pay to be a member. And for members, I'm actually working on a bunch of discounts for members this year as well, so that they can get discounts, maybe, 10% off a coffee or, whatever, just different discounts around Brisbane. But that's something I'm aiming to have at least 10 to 20 discounts for channel members by the end of the year, but I wouldn't blame anyone for waiting until those are sorted before becoming members. But I always appreciate the support in any case. Oh, mostly reading. Hi, another member. You've been a member for a while at insider level. Let me see if I can scroll back down in case I've missed any comments. Doing great, thanks. Don't be afraid of new things. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I guess for me, I've always been a bit like, I used to, like when I put things on the posts page, it used to be called the community page, and now it's posts. When I put things there and like not a single person responded or commented or looked at it, and I'm like, oh. So I kind of got this thing in my head that nobody would actually want to interact that much. So maybe I need to kind of get through a bit of self-sabotage there and just assuming that something's not going to be appealing or interesting to people. But yeah. You need to try one in Boondall, one in North Lakes, and there are some other places. So Hamish, so what's so good about, what was it? Danny, got to scroll back up to the comment. I've lost it. Yeah, Danny Boy something. The sandwich place. What's the deal with the sandwich place, Hamish? Why should I check it out? Because I'm not a big sandwich person, but if it's amazing, yeah, definitely. I mean, a good banh mi is, pretty nice. So if it's something like that, I'd definitely be keen. Everyone's gone quiet. Five likes. Cool. Well, anyway, I'll probably wrap it up if people don't have questions or anything they want to talk about, I'll probably just wrap it up. The main thing was just doing that draw, which I'm happy to have done, and we've got winners. I'm a little bit sad that there's like still quite a few entries in here that weren't successful, and I kind of feel bad for some of them because they're big horror fans. Why is the Storybridge walkway closed? Getting a straight answer on that one, you're probably not going to get the real reason, because I suspect it's nobody's actually really directly saying the real reason why it's shut. So there are theories going around. One theory is that it's to just basically force people to start using the Kangaroo Point Bridge more. I don't know how valid that one is, because the numbers of people crossing the bridge, both walking and using active transport like scooters and stuff like that, is way more than they expected. So that doesn't seem right. The theory of one of the councillors. So most of Brisbane City Council, it's a bit of a political thing. Most of Brisbane City Council are LNP party affiliated. But there are people from Labor. There's one independent, I believe, maybe two. I think there's only one. And then also Greens. And so one of the Greens councillors thinks that it's actually it's kind of a sneaky way to get some funding from the federal government connected with Cyclone Alfred, or ex-tropical Cyclone Alfred, and that they may be like playing around with things there to just kind of get extra funding to restore the Story Bridge that maybe they wouldn't otherwise be eligible for. That's one theory. But like I said in the most recent update video, which not so many people watched this week, unfortunately, it's actually, out of the last 10 videos, it's the worst performing one. Maybe it's just not a good thumbnail, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, there's nothing that I can really prove or anything. So I didn't really want to go into all these different theories about why it's closed. All we know is that Brisbane City Council are not being very transparent on why or on a timeline for when it's going to reopen. That's all I can say. We don't really know the true reasons. We just say what Shrina said was that it's that they closed it for the wild weather, and that they figured, oh well, while it's already closed, why don't we just keep it closed a little longer so that we can do the assessments to see what needs to be what we need to put in our case for the restoration project. But it's now at 6 weeks, so there seems to be something more to it than what they're saying. But anyway, let me just scroll back through these comments and see what I've missed. Where did I get up to? Why is Storybridge Walkway closed? Okay, so let's come back here. So, hope you do another live sometime. I guess I may. What is your name for the new... Oh, okay, for the new QPAC Theatre. Yeah, definitely not serious about the theatery McTheatre face thing. I don't know, I kind of liked the first two. I liked, one was, what was it? Lantern, and the other was something glass, something with glass in it. I don't know. Those two are kind of catchy, but I don't really have a strong preference there. So the Abe Kane says, my money is on structural damage of some sort. Yeah, I'm really not sure. Healthy person, so I trust me, you'd like it. Okay. Well, Hamish, I will try and find one closer to me, because I'm on the south side. So I'll try and find one of those Danny Boy sandwich. Yeah, I'll look back through the comments and see what the proper name was, and I'll check it out. I'll check it out and I'll let you know. Incompetence more than malice. Rich may have asked for it. But possible. I'm up at Caloundra and LNP is profit. Well, yeah, that's actually a national thing. The 25 cent per litre off fuel. That's a federal promise. That's basically Peter Dutton is saying 25 cents off fuel. Although with all the things happening in the world, the price is actually going down at the moment anyway. Yeah, I don't know how appealing that will be if the prices continue to drop for fuel. That's maybe a bit less incentive. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of all of this. Yeah, well, here's how we're going to save you money with some short-term thing that we're going to do until you've voted for us, and then we'll maybe put them back up or something like that. I don't have a lot of trust. But anyway, thanks for the insight. I'll check the latest video. Yep, been watching a while now. Thank you. This is Zohair Rahman. Really happy for your success. Hope to bump into you one day. It may happen. Usually when I go into the city, on average, I run into 2 people that have watched the channel at some stage. On a good day, 3. The three is the record, I think, when I go into the city. And starting to even run into people in my local area, which is it's interesting. Always happy. If you do see me, come over and say hi, even if I look busy or something. I'm always happy to meet people who are watching the channel. Is Victoria Park getting a venue? Well, Victoria Park, according to what they've proposed, will be getting the main stadium. 63,000 seats. I do these videos and then I forget the details like 5 seconds later. Pretty sure it's 63,000 seats. But there is a legal challenge brewing over that. So I suspect that the legal challenge will merely just delay things and sort of make it even harder to just get on with the job. I'm not saying that I think it's good or a bad thing for them to put the stadium in that particular position. I think the only bad thing is just delaying things. It's like either make the call so we can do something and actually start seeing some action, because there's been a lot of talk for a lot of years about the whole Olympic stuff. But yeah, your last video was a good cure for insomnia. Well, gee, thanks. Happy to be of assistance with that backhanded compliment there. Sorry. I do what I do. If it bores you, then maybe not the right channel for you. I think it's just the food better fresh. Okay, back to the sandwich thing. Glasshouse. Glasshouse, that was it. I think that sounds cool. And you know, that's kind of catchy. I'd go with Glasshouse. Yeah, I think everyone's agreeing on, or I don't know if you're agreeing on Glasshouse or you're just saying that's what it was. But anyway. Have you tried the new South Bank restaurant, Seiram? No, I haven't. What kind of cuisine is that? I'm just working through the comments here, so I'm going to be jumping between different themes. Buzz Clinton, see what it brings to the Great Southeast, hey? I think we're talking about the stadium, I guess. I don't know. The first winner, oh, Robbie, okay. First one drew out. Thanks so much. Can confirm we are horror fans, so that's really awesome. Okay, good to hear. Good to hear. So congratulations, Robbie. First winner. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Robbie and Mannock. Cool. Don't know where it's outside, but one at Kelvin Grove next to QUT. Okay. Someone defend it. Thanks, mostly reading for the defense. Ha. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm actually really thankful because there's so many really supportive people. So I'm at the stage now where there's been enough people who are, you know, connecting with the channel, who are appreciating what I'm putting out there, and who are, yeah, just happy to keep watching. And so I don't mind. I don't mind the occasional hater. It's just not the channel for them. All good. Rather you didn't watch. Leave it for the people that appreciate it, and we'll all be happy. Got on a channel from the Fallen Fruit app episode. Okay, cool. And market tours. Any future plans for further market tours? Well, there could be. I got to be honest that I'm finding it really hard to get through 2 videos a week, even, because I'm pretty much just working full time just to get 2 videos out each week. Although I'm slowly finding ways to streamline the process of researching and filming and editing and all of those things. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I think I can realistically promise 2 videos a week, but a third might occasionally happen. Just trying to get more videos out, more content out. But when I'm limited to just a couple of videos, then one's always going to be the weekly update. So that's the thing that's locked in. So it's those in-between ones, those midweek ones that could be on all kinds of different things. So some of the big projects I'm working on, they're going to be the midweek ones, but it might be months that I'm working on one particular video. But in the meantime, I'll do some sort of simpler midweek videos. So something like market tours, things like that, that's definitely an option. So anything you want to see, definitely let me know. If it's a live chat like this, let me know. If it's just in the comments of any videos or on the posts page on the channel, just let me know what you'd be interested in seeing. The more I hear it, the more I'll be like, oh, that's right. Because I've actually got a very, very long list of things that people want to see. And I wish I could do them all like right now, but some of them just keep getting pushed back because something else comes up that's more time sensitive, and some are just like, maybe I think, oh, maybe it won't be as popular as something else. But yeah, it's always a challenge trying to work out what to put out there. What's the reading? been getting much better, says mostly reading the videos, which I'm very happy to hear. I actually feel that myself. I feel that, I'm happier when I watch them back. And as I'm putting them together, I feel kind of a bit more excited. Although this week, I've got to admit, this week I was running late because, okay, here's some inside information just for people watching the live. I filmed. I thought, hey, I'm doing really well. I'm ahead of time. I filmed the talking head bit, the piece to camera of me doing the talk for this week's update video. I filmed it and it was completed on Friday night. And I'm like, hey, this is good. This is because usually it's not until Saturday morning that I get that far, because I wait until Friday to get all the information together so it's up to date. So I'm like, okay, all good. But then there was something I had to go and film on Saturday morning. Um, what was that? I can't even remember. My brain is like, I must be getting old. I can't even remember what I did on Saturday. Anyway, I had to go and film something on Saturday morning, and I made sure I moved everything from the hard drive that I record to, that I backed it all up. But I forgot there was one more thing on there, which was that video that I'd recorded, and I deleted it. I formatted the drive and went out and filmed, came home and realized. So basically, it wasn't until Saturday night that I actually filmed that, which means I had to get it all edited so quickly on Sunday to get it out on time. And that's why it was actually 2 hours late. Normally I release the video, the weekly update, at 4 o'clock on Sunday, and it was 6 o'clock that it finally got out. So that, the thumbnail's not that great, and so toward the end, you'll notice that there's a lot more of my face just talking and a lot less visual stuff overlaid on top. Areas where there should be some sound effects and things like that, there's not, because I just had to get it out. Because ultimately, I feel like people probably care more about the content than those little details, even though I would rather have been able to get those details in there. So yeah, it's all a bit of a juggling act trying to get things out, but yeah. All right, anyway, back to the comments. Buzz Clinton, love your comment. If it bores you, move to Toowoomba. MXPE, MXPE, I don't know how to say that username. I work at QIMR Berghofer, so I've been there actually, because I was going to be a guinea pig for a medical trial, but then because I'd had a particular syndrome, it disqualified me, so I ended up having to come home. But anyway, would have been good money. And I park where the stadium is getting built. I thought they hadn't actually worked out exactly where they're placing the stadium yet. I haven't seen any up-to-date information. All they've said is in Victoria Park somewhere, but not specifics. And we're probably not going to get real specifics in terms of designs and locations and things, probably until early next year, to be honest. New theatre should be called Blues Theatre. Blues Theatre, why? For one, I think that any State of Origin fan would not be a fan of that name. But yeah, it'd be interesting to know why blues. So here, Sairam is a unique Uyghur blend of Persian and Chinese and hand-pulled noodles. Okay, got me interested there. Cool. Yeah, maybe future restaurant reviews. It's definitely on the list. Yeah, and I've actually been thinking also of doing like a, top 5 banh mi places, because apparently banh mi is really taking off and becoming a big thing. And I know a lot about banh mi, and my wife is Vietnamese, so she knows a lot about banh mi. And I lived in Ho Chi Minh City for a while, so I know what's good and what's authentic. So yeah, that would be a fun one to do. I'd probably do it with Jade, and we'd get the two opinions on what's actually the best. Because there's lots of people say, oh yeah, this one. A couple of places in Darra people really like, some in Inala, but yeah, that's an idea. Whatever happens, the Brisbane Entertainment Centre just has to go. Yeah, yeah. It's really not a great location. At least, like public transport, try and get there, and parking apparently is an issue. And yeah, I know you didn't enter and well, actually, I don't know who entered and who didn't. Partly because real names and usernames are often so unrelated. Mostly reading. We work near one another. Ah, okay. Tommy. Tommy Boy 1646. Just wanted to pop in and say I love your work. Thanks. Thanks, Tommy Boy 1646. Tommy O, love your stuff. Thanks. Keep up the hard work. I intend to. Um, not just because I really want to, but because if I don't, then I'm not going to be able to pay the bills. So my hands are tied. I need to keep pumping out the videos. Christopher Leo, love the channel. Just about to move from a rental in North Lakes to an apartment in the Valley. First property. Ah, so you bought. Congratulations. So the Abe again, you're a nice relaxing channel for me, so it's more important to me that you don't burn out. Yeah, I always give myself one day off a week. Which day that is varies. Today is actually my day off, so not doing a very good job today because I'm sitting here talking to you guys. But I went out with Jade and Buddy. So I took out my wife and my dog. We went out to Lake Mugara, just for a bit of a drive, and we arrived and it started pouring. So we sat under cover and had a bit of a picnic under one of the shelters, and then drove back home. But it was a great day to just basically, I didn't check my phone once to see who'd been commenting or watching the videos or anything like that. Just complete detox for about 8 hours. And then came back, watched half a scary movie, jumped on this live now, and then when I'm done with this, we'll be back to the movie. So yeah, bit of a chill day. So no worry about me burning out. I'm always making sure that I'm balancing things, and and switching off. Like if it's either stress out and get a video out on time, or just keep a bit of balance and let it go, do it the next day, release it the next day. I know that people aren't really going to care. Like, I'm basically thinking the YouTube algorithm seems to prefer when you release things regularly, but I'll survive. So I'm not that worried about that. So yeah, don't worry about me burning out. Not going to happen. But I do push myself sometimes. Love it if you did some community meet and greet. That's Tommy O. I have been thinking about it, actually, just having a get together with people that can make it, to just meet in person, have a bit of a chat and a coffee or a drink or something like that. It's on the list. It's something I've been thinking about, yeah. For your next update, you should do it live. Oh my God, that would be a disaster. That would be horrible. Yeah, because there's so much information and stuff, and I don't know. I've got to say, I kind of feel like the visuals, they're a bit of a, I don't know. They keep it engaging. I don't know how long people would actually want to sit and look at this face. But anyway, um, yeah, maybe I'll do more lives. It's kind of fun to interact in real time. Okay, so now I'm looking at Ms. Happiness 65 or MS Happiness. I don't know, Microsoft fan. I don't know. I'm assuming Ms. Great videos. You give great tips and information about the Brisbane region. Keep up the work. It's great to see someone being yourself. Yeah, that's all I'm ever gonna do. Your favorite spot for coffee in Brisbane? This is Will Davis. Okay, Will. My favorite spot for coffee. Um, my favorite location for coffee doesn't exist anymore. Um, it was Bean, which was behind, is it Irish Murphy's? There's an Irish pub on the corner of George Street and Elizabeth Street, and there's a laneway behind it, and you'd go down the back end of the laneway and around a corner, and there was a red telephone box. You go into the telephone box and down some stairs, which leads you into a basement, which was this cute little quirky kind of cafe called Bean. And unfortunately, they closed down not long after COVID, which was really sad. And I was hoping someone would take it over, but there's nothing there anymore. So that was really cool. That was my favorite spot in terms of a location for a cafe. But in terms of the best coffee, it would have to be Anthology. Although, if I'm being completely honest, I haven't been to Anthology since they moved to the new location. The last time I went, they were on Margaret Street. But they also have a place called the Maillard Project. And they do, that's a really interesting one because instead of just getting your regular espressos, they've got all these really different exotic beans and types of coffee prepared in different ways for each one. And the flavor is so different for each one that like you wouldn't even think it was the same thing. Some of them I would be like, is this even coffee? But it's really, really interesting. I definitely recommend checking the Maillard project out. It's on Charlotte Street. Go and yeah, check that one out. Try it out. Definitely worthwhile. You might get a coffee you absolutely hate because the flavors are so different with some of those coffees, but definitely worth going and ordering like 4 different things, and you'll find one that's just amazing at least. I used to actually teach English upstairs from that restaurant. I used to teach English as a second language when I was doing my masters. That's what paid my way through the master's degree. So yeah, but that wasn't there at the time. It was something else. Anyway, all right, getting through these comments. Rua the Sidhe. I'm just absolutely butchering these usernames because it could be from so many languages. If it was Vietnamese, it would be Rua. But I'm guessing from the Sidhe bit. Sidhe? I don't know. That is not Vietnamese. But anyway, so Rua, maybe? Been moving the channel. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm sorry. Could you clarify? Okay, Matthew Thieler. Would be great to see a video about the terrible state of footpaths and walkability around Brisbane. So hodgepodge. Yeah, that's something that came up. I did a video on active transport, and I did interview someone from Queensland Walks, which is a pedestrian advocacy group. And yeah, they had a lot to say. I think actually the full interview, the full unedited, uncut interview, because I just cut little bits out to put into the video, but the full interview is actually online for channel members. They can actually watch the whole thing. But it's there, the content's there, so I can always use that to come back and revisit specifically what Brisbane is like for pedestrians, because yeah, I heard a lot of what's good and what's not, particularly what's not. All right, let's keep working through these comments. I noticed One Up Arcade's a sponsor. Any thought on the sad news that closing? Oh, okay. So I didn't know that One Up was connected with the arcade thing, and I didn't know about the closing. So I don't have any thoughts on that because I didn't know about it. I'll have to look into that. Thanks, Buzz. Let's move on. Okay, ouch, I don't know. This is the problem. I ramble on for so long that when I get back to the comments, it's about something I said or somebody said like 20 minutes ago. So I don't know what that ouch is about, but anyway. Yeah, Samuel S., don't beat yourself up over being perfect. Keep up the good work. Well, I mean, look at this. I don't expect perfection. Um, but one thing that I've really been improving on is combating that tendency to be a perfectionist. I know that pretty much nobody cares as much as I care about it, and I need to go a little bit easier on myself and not care so much and just let things slide and know that it's still going to be okay. So yeah, this last 12 months has been a big learning curve as far as learning not to try to do things perfectly so much, and just there's an expression, something like done is better than perfect. Because it's better to just get the video done and get it out there than to keep spending time working on it when it's a diminishing returns thing, that the finer the details that you're tweaking, the less anybody's even going to notice it anyway, and it's probably not worth it. So yeah, for me, I'm finding ways to know where that line is, the balance between being good quality but not being over the top, like putting more effort than I need to, so that then I can maybe instead put out extra videos rather than fewer better videos. Finding that line between the two, that's the challenge, and still working on that. All right, someone retracted their comment, so I'll keep going. I heard partly over the ICB. Okay, so I assume this is talking about the stadium. I know that there was one design which was put out by an architectural firm called Archipelago. Archipelago. I almost got it wrong again. Archipelago? Yeah, Archipelago. Archipelago. However you pronounce that word, there's an architectural firm with that name, and they did a design where they'd actually built a land bridge over the ICB. But I haven't seen anything confirming that they're actually going to go with that design. And I would actually suspect perhaps they won't, just in terms of the work and disruption that might cause to make that a reality. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep my eye on things. How do you get all the info so early? This is Hamish McCourt. A number of ways. I do subscribe to a lot of information things, like where people have subscription lists where whenever they make an announcement, they push it out to their email list. So I'm on a lot of email lists. So I'm always going through my email. Another way I get information is directly from from the government, from the city councils, because I'm on, as far as the 5 LGAs, I'm on 3 mailing lists from those, the media release list. The state government, I'm on their media release list, so often I'll get it as soon as they announce it publicly. I've got a notification in my inbox, so that's probably the main way I get most of them. Sometimes it's just luck. The Story Bridge thing, the accessibility climb, just was that I happened to be at a different media release, and one of the people involved in that project who watches the channel came over and introduced himself and said, "Hey, we're working on this thing today." So I'm like, "Hey, can I film it?" So sometimes it's just luck as well. That's I guess the more you get out and be active, and the more the Brisbane Channel gets recognized, the more opportunities I'll have to maybe have people coming to me with the information instead of me having to seek it out, which is it's kind of half at the moment. A lot of it I'm really searching for, and some of it is just they're sending it to me. So that's how I get the info so early. All right, why is Paddington the best suburb in Brisbane? Says Hanro Venter. Well, you may have a lot of people who would say it's not. If you're living in Paddington and you think it's the best, good on you. glad you're loving where you're living, if that's the case. But yeah, I think saying any suburb is the best, it doesn't allow for individual differences in people's preferences and what they look for in a place. You know, somebody who's a wealthy business person who's very concerned with your status and image and um, having the best of everything and convenience and all of these things will want completely different things from, say, me, who, I like things to be affordable, and I'm more about people being down to earth and genuine and having a lot of variety of cuisines. Some people may be very monocultural, some people like multicultural. So whatever your preferences are going to really affect what you think is the best place to be living, or to visit even. And it's just such a personal thing. So it's just impossible to say this is the best or that's the best. I do think that there are some suburbs that maybe would never really qualify, um, just in terms of maybe having very high crime rates and things like that. There may be a lot of social issues and things like that. That's objectively not a good thing. But there'll still be things within those suburbs that people could love. So, yeah. I'm not going to say why Paddington is the best suburb, because there is no best suburb. I'll just say that. Bluey Theatre. Ah, okay. Hamish finally came back about why Blue Theatre. Bluey Theatre. Yeah, I think the Bluey thing. Yeah, that's complicated. Like some people are even saying Bluey should be the Olympic mascot. I still think it should be an ibis, but I. That said, generally people are either Team Curlew or Team Ibis. I'm actually Team Curlew. I love the curlews. They're my bird. But I have a respect for the ibises as well. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Back to the Bluey thing. Bluey Theatre, yeah. No. All right. If you're gone before I come back, have a good. Okay. See ya, Abe. If I'm gone before you're gone. Samuel S. Hi, 10, is it? There we go. RG Boy Planes and Trains. Hi. Hi. H-Bomb Video Productions. Hello there, Arjun. Oh, okay. You're talking amongst yourselves. Okay. Well, or hi to you as well, even though you're not saying hi to me. All right, this is going to get a bit awkward as I work through these comments. Probably good to watch live when you're actually interacting. I don't know, because I know YouTube saves the lives and people come back and watch it later. That's where I think this is not going to be all that great to watch. But anyway, can I go and see waterfalls in Queensland by public transport and walking only? Oh, good question. Anywhere you could get. Well, almost. I mean, hey, there's a little waterfall at South Bank in the rainforest area. But after a few days of heavy rain, you could probably take a bus to the Mount Coot-tha Botanic Gardens and then walk, a little bit of a walk, to JC Slaughter Falls. And you search through the channel. If you do a search on the channel for JC Slaughter, you can see how really cool JC Slaughter Falls are when it's been raining. But when it hasn't been raining, it pretty much dries down to a trickle and even nothing really. It's only after big rain when the ground's really, really soaked. But you could probably take public transport to JC Slaughter Falls, but you'd still have a bit of walking to get to them from where the bus is. Apart from that, I don't think there's really anywhere. Other people may have ideas in the comments if you know of any places where you can see waterfalls only using public transport and walking. Well, when you say public transport and walking, it's like, yeah, if you can walk like 20 kilometers, then there's probably lots of them. So I guess it depends how much walking you actually want to do. Oh yeah, Bean was the best. I used to do photography workshops, and I'd always Bean was always the starting point. We'd always meet in Bean, have a bit of a chat about some theory and stuff, then we'd go out and take photos and learn how to take better photos. But Bean was the best. Um, have you tried industry beans? They're very nice. No, give them a try. Oscar, the theatre could be renamed to the Recruiting Theatre, being the first ever recorded performing arts in Australia in the late 1700s. Recorded performing arts. And trying to make sense of that comment, but there's some history there to look into. Um, but there's another guy. He's the Brisbane history guy. He'd be the one to. I'm Brisbane now. He's Brisbane then. But anyway, what's your go-to place to take out-of-town guests? Kind of places very typically Brisbane. This is Helen Rath. For me, I mean, you can't go past South Bank. I mean, it's such. I know that's where all the tourists go, and it's like, but for me, like, I just think it's the most. There's not really a place quite like that in most other cities, at least in the other cities that I've had visitors coming from. And with the artificial beach, sure, it's kind of tacky a little bit, but it's still cool. It's unique. And the rainforest, there's so much variety in such a small area. So honestly, I usually just take people to South Bank and also the City Botanic Gardens, because there's so much wildlife. If they're from another country, they're always like blown away by the water dragons that you can go right up to, and the stone bush stone curlews, and all of those kind of creatures. And if you're lucky, you can see a python in the Botanic Gardens. I've spotted them a few times, so that's always fun to tell them. Keep your eye out for some pythons, and they're. I always love that. Yeah, but apart from that, I mean, Nudgee Beach, sunrise at Nudgee Beach is always a good one. And I think a lot of what makes Brisbane special is more the natural stuff, the national parks that are around Brisbane, even Sunshine Coast, the Glasshouse Mountains and Gold Coast, you've got Natural Bridge and all of those, Springbrook, National Park, Lamington, Ellabonna Falls is my all-time favorite. So I think the natural stuff is really cool things to take people to, because I think that it's the natural stuff that is Brisbane's biggest asset, I would say. Um, all right. Brisbane Channel's first live. No, actually, second time I've gone live, and I only did it to draw these names out for who won the movie tickets, as you would have seen in last week's weekly update. So yeah, it's the second time I've live because I thought it's probably not something people would be that interested in, so I've never really done it. But now that I've kind of come on and people keep asking questions, so then I keep talking. So yeah, here I am. My son who's been working on the bike paths for a long time, and she says she has to re-explain the plan every time the government changes. Yeah, it's been a bit of a saga, the whole cycleway thing. What part of Brisbane are you in? This is Samuel S. asking. I live in I'll just say the suburb. I live in Algesta, which is on the south side, and most people don't know Algesta. It's not a very particularly well-known suburb. So it's kind of near Sunnybank-ish. Um, so yeah, a lot of good food around my area. And good public transport. Like I have the 1:30 bus, which goes every 15 minutes. It's a buzz bus. So it's, not far from my place that I can just jump on the bus straight into the city, or I can jump, onto the bus and take it to, say, Sunnybank or somewhere else where there's a train station. Park Road is always a good one because you've got three lines basically running through there, and you can get to anywhere. So yeah, I like my part of town. And when we moved here, it was one of the cheaper suburbs. I mean, it's probably still one of the cheaper suburbs, but I think my house, since I bought it in 2018, I think it's doubled in value. Not that that matters because I don't plan to sell it. Okay, any plans to cover the Gold Coast? Um, Thanks for your hard work. You're welcome. Not really, no. It's there's so much that on I've got this massive list of things that I want to do videos on, and I just getting to all of those things, and then new things keep coming up, so it's so hard to keep up. So I do have plans to do a lot of stuff, but it's all going to be focused on Brisbane, because there's just so much to do. So by expanding it to, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, Toowoomba, even though there's really cool stuff in those areas, um, yeah, I don't see that happening. I'll be honest. Pepperoni, cool username. Um, do you accept different business types for sponsorship opportunities? I own a small cafe in Brisbane. Think a sponsorship in one of your videos would be so awesome. Absolutely. I actually have been speaking with another cafe as well. They're not just a cafe, they do other stuff as well. But hey, Pepperoni, send me an email and we'll talk. Definitely, I am happy to take sponsorship. Now, there is a caveat there though. I need to think that what you do is good value. Not in terms of price, but in terms of being good quality and being worth knowing about. Because, it's not just that I'm going to take money from anyone who wants to promote themselves. I'm always very serious about checking the reviews, seeing what are people saying, checking it out myself, meeting with you, having a chat to see if we have I can connect with the values. It's like last thing I want to do is say, for example, somebody says, "Oh, I want to promote my business," and they're a bookstore. Okay, sure, I'll promote your bookstore. Give me money, and then I discover that it's a bookstore that focuses on neo-Nazi propaganda or something like. It's like the credibility of this channel is really, really important to me. So I'm not going to just promote anybody. However, if you do, so I run a small cafe. Okay, so if you do good coffee and people are generally quite satisfied with your service and what you offer, and people enjoy visiting your cafe, then absolutely. Excuse me. So yeah, absolutely. Send me an email, Pepperoni. Send me an email and we'll sit down, have a coffee, have a chat, and see what we can do. All right. Rub the Sleep. Interesting name. Hi, I love this channel. Helps me know what's going on without searching tons. Awesome. Good to hear. Thanks. SCSC. I'm not sure what SCSC is. In Henderson Park is doing a huge makeover through to November. So excited. They're adding kids play area and good windows and outdoor space, I think. Okay. I'll come back to these comments and look into all of the things that people bring up. So I'll look into that as well. RG Boy Planes and Trains would recommend getting an RSS feed if your emails are overloaded. I find it. Okay, I'll look into that. Thanks, RG Boy Planes and Trains. Back to mostly reading. Do you have a research tool that aggregates or organizes information that comes in, or a getting things done type of system? From David Allen. No, I don't have. Yeah, that would probably save a lot of time. It's very much old school. Just look at things as they come in. and add them to the list. So I should look into efficiency saving things. So mostly reading. I will promise. Cody says I'm near Bald Hills. Bald Hills is the best. Well, I'm happy that you think that. Do you know any major Kedron book changes? Oscar, have you watched this week's weekly update? If you haven't, go check it out. They're actually taking community consultation now for a major reworking of Kedron Brook, and it's going to be pretty cool. Hanlon Park in Stones Corner, it was one that they're basically saying we're going to go along those lines, and that was a really good transformation from just like a cement, what do you call those, irrigation kind of ways, to this kind of parkland that was very natural, and and the floods came and it just bounced back so well. So very flood resilient, and that's what they're looking at doing with Kedron Brook. A lot more natural spaces, some active transport paths, but they're taking community consultation right now. So yeah, either Google it, go to the City Council website to find out how you can give your advice, that you can give your feedback online if that's something you want to do. But yes, Kedron Brook changes happening right now. Well, the consultation is happening right now, and it's planned for the coming couple of years. YB Painting, yeah, one of our earliest sponsors, and if you need painting work done, like honestly, not just because they're sponsoring the channel. The reason they're sponsoring the channel is I was so impressed with their level of professionalism. I've never seen anything like it. The boss, Johan, the owner of YB Painting, brilliant. And they've got some exciting things coming as well. But thanks for watching, Johan. YB Painting Services, amazing company. And if I have any painting done, which I will, in my place, they're going to be the people, guaranteed. They'll be who's doing it. All right, Rob the Sleep again. If I'm mispronouncing your usernames, let me know. I want Olympics to do a reef theme, Aboriginal art in reef colours. I like pink colours and blues. Promote reef protection, restoration along Queensland waters, and show off all the fish. Well, since it's kind of becoming the Queensland Games rather than the Brisbane Games, having some elements of reef awareness would be a good thing. What is your favourite spot? This is Hamish McCourt. Yes, South Bank. Easily South Bank. I know it's not exciting or really new or different or fresh, but I love it. I think it's just such a great spot. Simpson Falls. Yeah, Simpson Falls as well as JC Slaughter Falls, really good after the rain. Possibly by public transport as well, yeah. What are your opinions on the Coomera connector? Okay, my personal thoughts. So let's take a break from the neutrality of the channel and not basically me not expressing my opinions. If you ask my opinion, I really think that we should be putting a lot more effort into other forms of transport rather than just driving. Yes, we do need to make sure that driving is efficient as it can be and that the roads are as good as they can be, yes, but we really need to do a lot of work on our public transport and active transport. So I would say definitely something that's I don't know a lot about it. I haven't looked into it because I kind of have seen it as more kind of, I guess, even though it's between the Gold Coast and Brisbane, I kind of look at it and I think, oh, okay, that's Gold Coast. I'm not going to focus too much on that, but I should look into it. So yeah, I'll admit that I'm a little bit ignorant about the details. So having an opinion is not something I really can do at this stage until I look into what it's all about. But from what I'm just glancing at it, that there's a bit of duplication of just basically let's just encourage more people to drive their cars when perhaps there may be other viable, practical solutions that could move a lot more people with a lot less impact. But anyway, wow, this could go on forever if people keep coming, and I'm going to have to set a time limit, I think, because I need to eat dinner. So I'm gonna keep doing this until 6:30. Let's say that. Okay. Would you like to see other railway operators on the SEQ train lines? I think I'm not so concerned about who's operating the trains. What I'd just like to see is more lines. Particularly, I know that it's completely unrealistic for this to ever happen, to be honest, but what would be great would be more under, like, they've putting the Cross River Rail in, which is going to do this time. It's going to help with the bottleneck that we have, going from south side to north side, because there's only that one spot with two lines on it, like two tracks, one going each direction. That's quite the bottleneck. So it'll definitely help having the Cross River Rail, but it would be great to have, rather than this radial kind of going with the city as the hub and everything moving out as spokes from that central point, having more interconnecting things going. So I guess like loops around that are going to go between those lines. Even not necessarily, it doesn't have to be rail, because it would be so expensive to dig tunnels under, and it's got to be under. It's got to be under. I think. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm the first to admit. But I would like to see more rail. But I think what would be more effective would be looking at smaller bus routes. I mean, we always think of these big buses and think it's that or nothing. Someone once commented on the channel and made me think of time that I've spent in other countries where they have smaller buses that service areas where there's not so many people, to take you to where the bigger buses or where the trains are operating, and then take you the rest of the way. It seems people are really averse to changing. They want to get on one bus and take it all the way to where they're going. I think if we can get out of that mindset and just be willing to change one or two times, we could cover so much more area, because there'd be so many different ways that we could do that. Smaller buses that take you to transport hubs, or things like that, because we've got such a big area. Brisbane is such a sprawling, Greater Brisbane especially is such a sprawling area with such a sparse population density that it's just hard to service with things like trains. You can't have the trains running through everywhere where people are living, but if we can get people to the trains, that would be better. So yeah, that's a long rambling answer to the question about would I like to see other railway operators on the lines. I think who operates it is less important than just how many lines there are. Anyway, leader of a scout group, and we were in the city, and some drunk guys started yelling at. Well, that could happen anywhere. Not that it's good, but yeah. Where is the new theatre going? Is it the construction site right in front of the ABC building and next to QPAC? Yes, that's where it's going. It's basically, you can actually see that glass, the wavy glass facade, which is pretty much directly opposite the ABC on the other side of that short road. I do like New Farm. Yeah, there's some really nice spots in New Farm. Never afford it, but they're nice. Paul here, who hates the 9 months of the year where the heat and humidity ranges from uncomfortable to unbearable. Yeah. See, humidity and heat never really got to me, but it sends my wife crazy. And a lot of other people. I think Brisbane's not the place to be if you can't handle a bit of humidity. And the people in Darwin are like, you don't know humidity. Anyway. Amped up tank. Keep up the content, mate. Inspiring to see you do all this even during your studies. Yeah, actually, I never said I was quitting the PhD. I said I wasn't going to be prioritizing it. I'm prioritizing the channel. I actually just submitted an article for a publication, for a journal, which will check the final box I need checked before I can submit my thesis. So it may still happen. Anyway, I live in McGregor, but the buses going your way is hard. So from McGregor to my area, or yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I've seen the 1:30 bus at Queen Street. Yep, that's the one I take. Suburbs with the least noise near the CBD. Well, that would be a good crowdsourcing one, I think. I mean, somebody just mentioned New Farm. It's a quiet suburb and it's pretty close to the CBD. Expensive as hell, but very quiet, very pretty, beautiful suburb. Favorite breezy cafe? Yeah, we've covered that, but I'll say Anthology for the coffee. Somebody posted. Oh no, that's just a retracted message. Okay, all good. Algestra is where my scout group is and where I live. Oh, a fellow Algestarian. Good on you. Good evening, all. Good to see you live. And it's a great distraction from uni assignments. I've been there. My whole YouTube channel was a big distraction from uni. That's all it ever was. No, it was more than that. Sunnybank and McGregor Park. So not for traffic. Okay. Oh, that's what SCSC is. Oh, okay. A not-for-profit club pub, and the money goes into the community. Clubs and sports in that area. Cool. All right, a lot of retracted messages. I don't know what the story is of those. Speaking of Kedron Brook, can we do something about the car park at South Run Road? Okay. Contact council. Are you on live at 1 p.m. tomorrow? No. I probably won't do a live for some time again. Unless you like request, if a bunch of people requested something and I'd say, okay, I can see there's a demand for that. Absolutely, I'll do it. Any confirmed opening date for the rest of Brisbane Metro? Well, not a specific date. Metro M1 they're just saying second half of 2025. They're always very, very reluctant to give specific dates because things can be so affected by weather, for example, and other things like maybe not being overly efficient. Or I'm not saying that's the case, but that's one way that you could have things delayed. So they like to wait until they're absolutely certain it's going to be that date, and then they'll let the date out. Actually, usually they'll know maybe a week before, and then they wait until the day to send out a media release. So which is so annoying. But anyway, I don't have specific dates, no, but I'd be expecting around June-ish for M1 to be running, and then the other ones they're going to be looking at the end of the year. It's into doing their case studies and things that they like to do. Any ways that they can find ways to spend money before actually starting construction. But there's reasons for it. They want to make sure that there's not major objections. They want to make sure that they've covered all their bases and that there's things that maybe they didn't overlook. So they like to do all their consultation things, which are very important. Not trying to downplay that, but it takes a long time for things to get done in various levels of government. What happens for Brisbane in Brisbane for 2026? Well, that's so far away. We'll see. Solar Edition. Hello, Mr. Brisbane Man. Love your videos, but do you know of anyone who does similar videos but about Melbourne? Sorry, I don't. I don't know of anyone doing it about Melbourne or Sydney or pretty much anywhere. Yeah, I'm not sure. Even, it would be good to have someone doing it on the Gold Coast, someone doing it on the Sunshine Coast. in the other cities, and from every now and then we could do a collab and work together on something big. That would be fun. But battery power 15%. All right. Well, that's good. That should still get me to 6:30. Um, I like New South Wales Police. Interesting username. Do you like South Bank because I watched five? Do you like South Bank because I watched your videos 5 years ago? I don't understand what you're asking. Do you like South Bank because I watched your videos 5 years ago? No. I like South Bank because it's a really cool spot with a lot of variety and a lot of, there's natural elements, there's some design elements, the Epicurious Garden is cool. Um, it's such a varied experience. You can look across and see the cityscape. I like modern buildings, and I like the old buildings that you can see as well. So I like South Bank because you can look across, see the city. You can experience lots of things in South Bank itself. Actually, my one go-to coffee spot that is completely underrated is called Shish, Shysh, which is also at South Bank. So anytime I walk through South Bank, I'm also grabbing a coffee at Shish. Guaranteed to be top-notch coffee. They're not like one of those elite kind of, only use the finest of beans from this single source, single origin, blah, 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 blah. But the way I've never had a bad coffee there. It's just so consistently good. And I'm a cappuccino drinker. The way that a lot of cafes make cappuccinos in Brisbane, it's like this is just a latte. Maybe a latte with some chocolate powder sprinkled on top. I like my cappuccino to be a definitely clear. That's a cappuccino. There's at least a centimeter of foam on top. I need to be able to run with it and it not spill. That's a good cappuccino for me. So you get that at Shish. So yeah, but the flavor is always really good too. And Dan's a good guy. The guy that will be making the coffee for you. A million times, yes, public transport is so poor here. Yes, it is. It really needs work. Marquis, do you think the public transport proposals that were accepted by the state government are going to be run by private companies and not be publicly run services? I assume that you're partly talking about some of those ones that were proposed connected with the Olympics, because I believe some of those will be privately run or public-private, I'm not sure. I think that there's definitely a possibility that some public transport things are going to be not publicly funded. And that's, well, look at the air train. Kind of a bit of a recipe for disaster. You can say goodbye to your 50-cent fares if it's private. Okay, Zane Gatti. Do you think there will ever be a point where Brisbane builds either train or light rail lines? No, I don't. I don't think so. Do you have any information on future improvements for Mogul Road to Kenmore? No, I don't. If I do, I'll let you know. Hi mate, Don from Waterford West in Logan. Love your channel. Thanks. My wife, she's an early childhood educator, and she's casual, so she'll take shifts all over the place. She's done some in Waterford West, so yeah, if you've got kids, maybe she looked after or taught your kids. Trams for Brisbane City. A lot of people want the trams. I'm not so sure that it's value for money when things like the electric buses that we're running and calling Metro. What does a tram do? I mean, I guess a tram can be longer, can have more people on it, but if you're running them frequently enough, does it really matter? Yeah. But anyway, I know a lot of people really want trams. Have you went on a tram in 1969? No, I haven't gone on a tram in 1969 because I wasn't born. How old do you think I am? Most people usually think I'm younger, but you're the first to think I'm older than I actually am. We need more Brisbane Channel live content. Well, I don't know. I feel like this is really rambly and, but yeah, open to the feedback. Maybe if I had a plan for how to work it, because live is not something I don't really watch live, so I don't know what a good live should be like. If I knew that, then I could say, okay, I'll do that. I'm just sitting here and answering your questions. But hey, if that's what people want, we can do that because it doesn't take preparation, doesn't take editing. I like that. Let's keep going. What time is it? 18. I've got 12 minutes left. Okay. Um, put trams in the city, put those buses around the suburbs. I'm still not sold on the advantages of the trams, especially in the city if we've got frequent enough everything else. You know. Too difficult on elderly and disabled. Good point about the trams. Trams covering CBD Valley would be amazing. We can hear flight noises and siren in our suburb. Yeah, a lot of people do ask me about doing something on the flight paths and the flight noise. And it is on the list, and I have actually even met people. Oh, wow. Somebody, a super thanks. That's the first ever super thanks in a live chat. Thank you so much. I'll scroll down and see who that came from when I get to that. Thank you so much. So yeah, the flight pass thing is on the list. I have actually met with people from the what's the organization called? There's like an acronym for it, but the organized group that are advocating for action to be taken about the flight paths. I don't know where I stand on it yet because I haven't really thrown myself into doing the research for that particular project. But as I see, it's going to be an ongoing thing. It's not something I'm really rushing to do, to be honest, but it is on the list and it is something that I do intend to get to. But there's just a few more immediate topics that I want to get uh, ticked off first. Do I consider myself an independent journalist? Asks Samuel S. Oh, kind of. Kind of. Putting the term journalism on there, I feel like to the kind of rigor, the kind of level of fact checking to really call yourself a real journalist. And I'm not talking about just people who read a media release and then just report what they read in the release. For me, real journalism is really digging down deep and getting to look at an issue from all sides, not just the obvious one, but seeking out opposing opinions and say what are those opposing opinions and presenting all of it in that's a lot of work, and I don't at this stage have the time to do that. So I would say that I would say that I'm moving towards journalism in that I do try to look at, do some analysis of the information that I do receive and to present it in a balanced way that gives people the opportunity to make up their own mind. Um, but I wouldn't say just yet that it's actual quality. Let's say it's not quality journalism, but it's some form of citizen journalism, I guess you could say. Thoughts on the northbound traffic from Nudgee to basically Caboolture? Well, it's not great, is it? um, yeah, I'll just leave that one at that. Do you take the route 175 and 174? Usually not. Okay, so there's a lot of about the roads between Brisbane and Sunshine Coast ultimately. We'll save that for something where I can do some research and have some facts rather than just, yeah, I've driven it a couple of times and it was horrible kind of thing. Also, no empty buses to the cultural centre, more trunk and feeder routes rather than every bus everywhere going to the cultural centre. There is so much duplication of routes, and it's just this whole thing of people wanting to take one bus from where they are into the city in particular, or at least people thinking that's what people want. If we can, I mean, the whole idea of something like the metro is that you can have people take a bus to a metro stop and then jump on the metro, which can hold a whole lot more people and run a whole lot more frequently, and then take those buses that are running the same busway that the metro is running and allocate them to some other parts where there's currently no buses serving. I mean, that's the ideal. That's what they're, if you listen to what they say they're going to do, that's the idea, but we're yet to see if that's actually what ends up happening. Oh, hey, Beck from Life, Love and Travel. Hey. Airdog. Oh, wow, another super thanks. Awesome, thank you. Airdog, hey, from Ferny Grove. Ferny Grove. No. I thought when I was a kid, because I lived in Brisbane for a couple of years when I was a kid, and the Ferny Grove line, I used to take it, but I lived in Arana Hills, which is, I just discovered, I didn't even realize Arana Hills is in the Moreton Bay LGA. But anyway, I used to live in Arana Hills when I was like 5, something. But I remember the Ferny Grove line being the one that I took all the time. I still remember the sound of the announcements. They're very different now. Love Metro, can't wait for the rest of it. Yeah, especially those extensions. It'll be good when it's going out even further. Pope Francis passed away. Oh, I'm not Catholic, and let's say there's a lot of things about that organization that I don't necessarily agree with, but that guy, he was a good one. He was a good guy because he actually seemed to stand for a lot of the things that organization is meant to be about. So I like the guy. That's sad. All right. And upload more top 5 sunrise and sunsets. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Would you ever think about hiring people to do filming for you? Would you also do something like food reviews on food places? Yeah, we kind of touched on that a bit earlier in the chat. I would definitely do things like food reviews and things like that. And I would definitely hire people. This is the challenging thing. I've actually started, it's only just the last maybe 3 weeks or something, I've started using stock footage. Like, I've actually subscribed to some stock libraries so that I can use the footage instead of me having to run around with my camera and take time lapses and film and footage and things like that all the time. Excuse me, I keep burping. So I've actually just now said, hey, I can't do this. It's unsustainable. And I'm using a lot of time that I could be dedicated to making more videos by just going out and not having to go out filming all the stuff myself. Plus the quality of it. I don't have a drone, so there's a lot more drone shots you'll have noticed in the last few updates and stuff like that. And I've been thinking, my goal. When I decided to go full time, my goal was within the next 12 months to be able to outsource the editing for the videos because that takes so much time. If I didn't have to edit, I could probably do an extra 2 videos each week. I could do 4 videos a week if I didn't have to edit. But the difficult thing there is trusting somebody to edit in a way that's in the spirit, I guess, of the channel, someone that I can trust. Because editing, there's so many decisions that you're making that it's like, but to have a really good editor, the quality of the videos would go up again because editing is not my strength. It's not one of my skills. So, I mean, I do the best I can. And it would be great to be able to just hand that over to someone and know that they're going to do a great job, and that I'm going to feel, yes, that's got the flavor of the channel in it. So yes, I would definitely. The filming, if there were people that, were good, absolutely happy to, like, anything. I mean, I've even thought about having other people presenting. Like, that's something I'm not. I would love to just have somebody else put their face there, because hey, maybe more people would subscribe with a pretty face or somebody really attractive. But now it's kind of, I'm like, well, kind of the channel and me are kind of a little bit inseparable as well. It's like, I'm not saying that I think that the content is really what it's about, but I think that some people also appreciate whatever I bring to it as well. Maybe some people are connecting with that. So having a different presenter, ooh, would that be better or worse? I'm not really sure, but definitely would like to outsource the editing. Um, right, Jackie Boy, g'day, one of my newest members. Welcome. Um, Jackie Boy, you're a barista. Cool. Um, awesome. Jackie Boy, let me see where you are. Jackie Boy, let me know where your cafe is, and I'll come in and give it a try. See how we go. Lakeside Raceway is under fire from NIMBYs again. I should do a video just on NIMBYs. It's like, but then it's hard because, like, everybody does have there's always some genuine reasons for concern. Well, often. Sometimes it's just protecting property values and views and things like that. But some people do have genuine concerns. So I don't want to just put the label NIMBY on someone and just say that, write everything off. Like, we need to listen to what people's concerns are, rather than just judging from the outset. But I guess that's the unfortunate thing with the term NIMBY, and that's why I don't actually generally use it in videos on the channel, because I think it's a bit judgy, and it's not giving people the respect to at least to hear them out before saying nah, that's there's no justification there. Anyway, Little Egg Fella, love that name. Finally getting to the super name. Reason I like the Brisbane Channel is it makes me feel connected to this community. Good to hear. I like that. Yeah. You're doing well. Just be real is key. That's pretty much the way I take it. Hey Brisbane, mate. Will there be any taller skyscrapers going to 300 meters or 100 plus in the CBD in the future, if you have any information? Well, I know that there's the limits in the CBD are, from what I know. I haven't researched it, so don't take this as me saying it's fact. But I think that the flight paths and the planes going over, there's a certain clearance level that they need to have. So I believe that some of the newer buildings that have been proposed are pretty much right at that limit that is allowed before it's going to have, I guess, aviation impacts. I think that's a big part of the height levels there. But thanks so much for the Drew Shoto. Thank you, Drew, so much for your contribution and support. Also, if you do end up having a public get together, that would be great. Cool. I will do it. Maybe within the next 2 months or so. Yeah. Flight path in Ascot is not good, but we live right next to the airport. Well, yeah, you kind of can't expect too much there. I've gone over time. All right, so I'm sorry I can't get to all these other comments. Yeah, there's a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna have to call it a day because this is meant to be my day off, and I'm gonna go and have dinner. And buddy, feeling better, hey? My dog, if you were here right at the beginning, he was scared of the thunder, but he's over it now, which is good. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks so much for coming, and thanks for talking, asking questions, being engaged. Thank you so much. This has been really interesting. It's been really fun. So, yeah, thanks so much. I'm always awkward at the end of things, aren't I? Even the update videos at the end, I'm like, oh, I gotta finish it. All right, gotta go. See ya. Thanks. Sorry for the people who have commented and chatted and asked questions and things that I couldn't get to. But yeah, it's been like 1 hour, 35 minutes. Can you believe that? That's madness. I've sat here and talked with you guys for 1.5 hours. We definitely have to do that real in-person catch up. We'll do it. Because yeah, happy to. It's much better than just my voice going all the time in one direction. All right. Anyway, see you guys. This is my second live, and I don't know where the stop button is. Is this it? Yep. There we go. See ya.